Hello everyone. This video is going to be a continuation of yesterday's video, which was about coordinate proof. So if you have not watched the video, the link is above. You can click the iCard above and then watch the video, because in that half of the lesson was explained. So the remaining part we will be looking forward in this video. Okay. So for a quick review, now definitely if you don't watch that video, you are not going to understand what we have done here. But if you have watched, this is going to be a quick review. Okay, you needed to position a rectangle with a length of 8 units and a width of 3 units in the coordinate plane. Now you have two ways. You can either center it along the origin. From the origin, you can take 8 units to the right, that's the length, and the width of 3, and then complete the diagram, that is complete the rectangle. Or you can divide 8 in two parts like 4 and 4, and then you can use 3 as the width and complete the diagram as well. So however you draw, it's up to you however you draw. But then it's always better to keep the figure in quadrant 1, that is on this side where all the values are positive, and also keep it along 0 0, so that when it comes for any kind of proof, it's going to be easy for us to work with the coordinates. Okay, so this was also a proof from yesterday's video. This was, we were proving that triangle ABC and triangle DBC, the area of DBC is half of ABC. So we are going to work with the formulas now. In fact, rather than using theorems, we are going to work with different formulas according to the question they ask, according to the proof they want us to prove. So here they said the area of triangle DBC is 1/2 of the area of ABC. So definitely we are going to work with the formula of area. So for today's part, we are going to see how to position each figure in the coordinate plane and give the coordinates of each vertex. Now you need to write the coordinates of each vertex. So let's see, you have to draw a right triangle with leg lengths 3 and 5. So it's a right triangle. You know how a right triangle looks like. It has two legs, both which makes a 90-degree angle, and then the other side is the hypotenuse. Here they said the leg length should be 3 and 5. So this is the coordinate plane. Now, as I told you, it's always better center it along the origin. So, and keep the figure always on in quadrant 1. This is quadrant 1. Okay, so starting from 0, this is going to be 0 0. From here, I can draw 3 units to the right, because they did not say which leg should be 3 or which leg should be 5. So it's up to us. We make this leg as 3 or the other leg as 5. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You can even make this a 5 and this a 3. But the legs should be, one leg should be 3, one leg should be 5. So let's complete the right triangle. So either you draw it like this, or you can even draw it like this, as I said. So here I have taken this leg to be 3 and this leg to be 5. Here I have taken this leg to be 5 and this leg to be 3. Now we have to write the coordinates. So as you know, this coordinate is always, this vertex is always going to be 0 0. This vertex is going to be 3 0. Now note that the value of x is 3, but the value of y is 0. Then this one is going to be 0 5, because the value of x is 0. It is not on the x-axis, it's on 0, and it's on y-axis, so the y is 5. Similarly, if you would have drawn the right triangle in this way, this vertex is going to be 5 0, and the other one is going to be 0 3. So you need to be a bit careful when you're writing these vertex coordinates. Okay. Now keeping this in mind, now here they have given us the numbers on how the length of the right triangle should be. Now here they said a right triangle with leg lengths A and B. So here they did not give us how many units it should be. They did not give us a number. So what do you do when they did not give a number? You just need to concentrate on drawing a right triangle. That's it. Doesn't matter big, doesn't matter how small it is, you need to draw a right triangle, because they did not mention how many units, right? So start from the origin. You can draw how long ever you want, how short ever you want the legs, doesn't matter, unless it's a right triangle. So draw a right triangle. Let me name the legs, because they said the leg is A and B. So one leg should be A and the other should be B. So let me name this as A and this as B. Why did I name this as B? Because usually the triangle base, this down part which is called the base, is B. So that's why I named this as A and this as B. Now let's write the coordinates. Now we are not working with numbers. We are not concerned about numbers at all. Now you might think this is 4 units. It's not. It's just a triangle which I drew. There is no particular number for these legs. So starting from the origin, this is 0, 0. Okay. Now this is going to be B units because we don't know what the units are. So we name them as B units. So what do you think is the coordinate here going to be? It's going to be B0. Why is it B0? Because they said one of the leg is B. They did not say as the number. They said it's B, so we make it B. It's not necessary that you need to draw it 4. You can even make it longer or shorter. Doesn't matter. But it needs to be a right triangle. So this is going to be B0. This vertex here is going to be 0 and A. Why is it 0 and A? The value of x is 0 because it's not on the x-axis, it's at the origin. So it's 0. And this y, which we don't know the value, rather we name the leg as A, it's going to be 0 and A. This is how you need to position each figure in the coordinate plane if the values are not given. Let's try one more. Position a square with side length 4p in the coordinate plane and give the coordinates of each vertex. Now 4p, again, they did not give us what's p without giving us the units. Like what is the length of the rectangle? So it's a square. What is the length of the square? What is the side? We don't know anything, right? So just we are going to draw a square. You know a square has all equal sides. So it's up to you how big or how small you want to make it. So I have drawn it like that. You can even make it a bigger, but make sure if you're taking 3 units to the in one side, you need to take 3 units in all the sides because it's a square. You cannot draw a rectangle and say it's a square. A square has all equal sides. So if you're taking 5 on one side, you need to take 5 on all the sides. So if I name this length is going to be 4p because they said the side length is going to be 4p. But not necessary we need to take 4 squares. No need. It's not necessary. Because what does 4p mean? It's just a value which we don't know. Just like A and B, which we did for the previous one. So this side is going to be 4p. This side is going to be 4p. This side is going to be 4p. Also, this side is going to be 4p. Okay, so let's write the coordinates. The vertex for this is 0, 0 because that's the origin. Now this coordinate is going to be 4p and okay. This coordinate is going to be 4p and 0 because it's on the x-axis. So the y becomes 0. Similarly here, it's on the y-axis, so the x becomes 0, but the value of y is 4p because the side length of the square is 4p. Now, what about this point? It is where both the x and y-axis values are there. So the value of x is 4p, the value of y is 4p, so this coordinate here becomes 4p, 4p. This is how you need to name the coordinates. Okay, now for the, let's practice some questions and check whether we could do it or not. Fine, so this is position each figure in the coordinate plane and give the coordinates of each vertex. So let's draw the coordinates for, let's draw the picture first. So they want again a right triangle with leg length M and N. So no matter how, whatever you do, you need to just draw a right triangle. You know, a right triangle has 2 legs. So one starts here. You can make it however long you want, and you can make it however long or short you want. So from the origin, let me just make it this much, then complete the right angle. Fine. Now let me name the sides. They said leg lengths M and N. So M and N, it can be M here, N here. It doesn't matter. Okay, you can name this as M or this as N or this as M and that as N. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to write this as M. Let this be M and this be N. So this length is going to be N and this length is going to be M. Do not bother about the number of square units. Okay, let's name the coordinates, the vertex. So here this is going to be 0, 0, right? This point, this vertex is going to be m0 because the value of x-axis is m, the value on x-axis is m, so it's not on the y-axis, so the y is 0. Now what about this point here? That becomes 0 and n. Why 0? Because it's on the y-axis, there is no value for x here, it's on 0 n. This is how you name the coordinates. Okay, let's try one more. A rectangle with length a and width b. So you need to draw a rectangle. You know, a rectangle has the length is the opposite two sides are equal, right? So just draw a rectangle. You can make it however big or small you want. As I'm telling you, doesn't really matter. Okay, they said length is a, so the length of the rectangle is a. So let me name this as a, and the width is b. So as you know, the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So this is going to be a, and this is going to be b. Okay, so now let's name the coordinates. Choose another color so that you will not get confused. Okay, this point, this vertex is going to be 0, 0. This vertex is going to be, now you know very well, how do you name this? This is on x-axis. So the value of x is a, the value of y is going to be 0 because it's not on the y-axis, it's on the x. This vertex is going to be, the value of this is b, so it's going to be 0 and b. X becomes 0 because it's on y-axis. Now what about this point? It cannot have a 0 because it's right in the center, like it's in the middle of the coordinate plane. So how can it be a 0? If it's 0, it should either be on the y-axis or x-axis. So what are we going to name this point as, this vertex as? So the value of x, so from here the value of x is going to be a, and the value of y is going to be b. So it's going to be a, b. So this is how you name a coordinate, a figure on a coordinate plane when the length and the width is given as variables. Try some more. A square with side lengths of 2 units. Okay, now they mentioned here 2 units, so we stick to 2 units. So from the center, 2 units here. You know square has all equal sides, so 2 up. Again, complete the square. So this is how the rectangle, square looks like. So they just said position the figure, so we just position the figure. They did not ask us to name the coordinates. If you want to name the coordinates, you will say here it is 0, 0. It's better you name it, you will get practice for it, that's all. Okay, so let's name this. This is going to be 0, 0. So this means 2 because we have moved 2. So this is going to be 2, 0. This is going to be 0, 2. And this is going to be 2, 2. Well, now let's go to a proof question. Write a proof using coordinate geometry. Okay, so given is rectangle ABCD. The coordinates are given ABCD. E is the midpoint of AB and F is the midpoint of CD. So you have to prove that EF, that's the length from here to here, is equal to BC. So when we are talking about the length, that means in other words, we are talking about the distance between 2 points. Okay, so we're talking about the distance between E and F and B and C. So the distance formula, as you might be knowing, that's going to be x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square, right? So let's take the first, let's find the distance from B to C. So when you're finding the distance from B to C, we need the coordinates of B, that is 0, 10, and we need the coordinates of C, which is 6 and 10. So name this as x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so let's find the distance of BC. It's going to be the whole root x2, that's 6 minus 0 because x1 whole square plus y2 is 10 minus 10 whole square. So BC, the distance between BC is going to be the whole root of 6 minus 0 is 6 square, plus 10 minus 10 is 0. 0 square, you know that doesn't give you anything in fact. So your answer is going to be 6 are 36. And you know 0 square is 0, so 36 plus 0 is going to give us 36. I'm just reducing the number of steps. So the square root of 36 is going to be 6. So the distance between B to C is 6 units. Now, we found BC, we have to find the distance between E and F. So let's find the coordinates for E and F. Now, because they have given in a coordinate plane, we can simply find the coordinates of E and F. If they have not given these in a coordinate plane, you need to use the midpoint formula to find the distance, okay? So this is going to be 0, 5, and F is going to be 6, 5. So E is 0, 5, F is 6, 5. Now you know which is x1, x2, so I'm not going to write that again. So let's find the distance between E and F. So that space is not enough. I will do it here. So it's going to be the whole root of x2 is 6 minus 0 square plus 5 minus 5 whole square. Okay, so that's going to give you the whole root of 6 minus 0 is 6 square. Then again, it's similar. You could see it's the same thing. So that means this is going to be the root of 36. So the root of 36 is going to be 6. Now, they want us to prove that EF is equal to BC. Is EF equal to BC? Yes. So how do we write the final statement now? You can start with because 6 is equal to 6, or you can just start with any, it's a proof, so you can use your own words. Doesn't need to be exactly the same words which is in the book or which I am using. So let me start with, since 6 equals 6, therefore BC equals EF, or EF equals BC. It's going to be the same idea, right? So this is how you prove. Now let's look at this question. R is a right angle in PQR. So triangle PQR, R is a right angle. What does that mean? That means they are talking about a right triangle. Because if there is a right angle in a triangle, means it's a right triangle, right? So this angle is going to be R. So what's the name of the triangle? PQR. So you can name it PQR. Okay. A is the midpoint of PR. So this is A. B is the midpoint of QR. So this is going to be B. Okay. So now first let's name these places. This is going to be 0, 0 as usual. What is this coordinate going to be? What do you think? The length from here to here is given to be A. That's why they said A is the midpoint. So if from here to here it's A, the remaining part from here to here is going to be A as well, right? Because midpoint means half. So if half of the length is A, the remaining half of the length is also going to be A, which means the distance from R to P is going to be A plus A if it was in numbers. So if it was in numbers, it's going to be R to A is 1. And A to P is going to be 1. So 1 plus 1 is going to give us 2. But here, because we are dealing with letters, so the distance between PR is going to be A plus A, which is going to give you a 2A, right? Similarly, from here to here, they said it's B. The midpoint is B, so which means from this distance to this distance, it's B. Similarly, this is going to be B as well. So the distance from R to Q is going to be B plus B, which is going to give you a 2B. Right. Now let's use this one to say that AB is equal to half of PQ. So let's draw this imaginary line here so that we can prove it. Okay. So they are saying prove that AB is half of PQ. So to do that, we need to first find these coordinates of P and Q. So what is the coordinate of P going to be here? You know, because you have drawn the figures now. So this is 0 and 2a, I could say 2a because a plus a. So the coordinate for P is 0 and 2a. The coordinate for Q is going to be 2b and a, 0. Right? Similarly, for this point A, the coordinate is going to be 0a, and this it's going to be 0b. Sorry, b0. It's going to be b and 0 because it's the x. So b and 0. Okay. So now let me find the distance between both of them. Now we are going to use the same formula, right? So d is going to be equal to, I'm not going to write the formula again. I'm just writing the coordinates only. So we could write this as x1, y1, x2, y2. However you want, you can shift it. So x2 is going to be 2b, x1 is going to be 0 whole square, plus this is going to be 0 minus 2a whole square. So the distance between PQ is going to be the whole root of, this is going to be 2 square. That's going to give you a 4b square. Right? You know how to multiply polynomials. So 2 into 2 is 4, and b multiplied by this root of square will give you square. So now minus 0 doesn't really matter because whenever you, even if you subtract, you're going to get the same 4b. So ignore it. Here again, 0 minus 2a is going to give you a negative 2a. So negative 2a square is going to give you a positive 4a square. Okay, now I leave it like that. Leave it like that. Now let's find the distance of AB. So AB, the distance is going to be, we already have the coordinates, 0a, b0. So x2 is going to be b minus 0 square plus 0 minus a square. I know it's a bit confusing because the numbers are not given. Hopefully in your practice workbook, this kind of questions are not given. So this is just for practice. You never know where these comes in use. Okay, so b minus 0 is going to give you a b, so that's b square, plus 0 minus a is minus a square is going to give you a square. Now, why did I ask you to leave it like this? Can you see that both of them have 4? So the square root of 4, what's the square root of 4? That's 2. So which means we can write 2 as a common number here and write the remaining inside the square root sign. So this is going to be b square plus a square, because we already took the root of 4. So the root of 2 is 4. So that root of 4 is 2. That's why I wrote a 2 common here, because 2 belongs to both of them. Then what's remaining is b square and a square. Now we have to prove that AB is half of PQ. So here, you know, if you want to divide, like half means this is half, divide by 2. So that's what they're doing here. So you can say, since the whole root of b square plus a square equals half of means you multiply, you know that. So 2 half of b square plus a square, this is going to be, I forgot to write the 2 here. Let me write it properly so that you will understand it better. So equal to half, in parentheses, because half multiplied by 2 the root of b square plus a square. Therefore, or so, AB is equal to half of PQ. How do you know it's half of PQ? You know half multiplied by 2 will give you 1, right? So 1 multiply the same thing is going to give you b square plus a square. So this is how you need to prove. Hopefully just these kinds of questions don't come, but then in any case you just need to keep in mind. So hopefully you could understand this concept, and you can do the workbook practice workbook pages. So if you have understood, well and fine. Till we meet again, try to do some questions and try to practice.